Today we're going to make a Python user interface using Kivy and manage our user authentication and entire backend on Supabase, which is an open source Firebase alternative. Before we can start, you'll need to install two packages, Kivy and supabase-py. Both of these can be installed using pip. Now we want to make a main.py file and paste in the following starter code, which will be available on GitHub. Here we've defined a class for our page, login, which inherits from the app which we imported above. We also installed some UI packages from Kivy like labels and buttons, which we'll use later. Inside of our build method, we can start writing our code for our app. To start, we create a grid layout with only one column, so all of our items are stacked on top of each other. We then add our first widget to the page, an image of a logo. Our app page will be made up of lots of widgets added to our login class, which we can add with self.window.addWidget. We'll need to add two text input widgets and their corresponding labels and a button at the bottom to sign in. So here we have the username label, which just says where you would enter your username. Then we have the text input for the username. Then both the password label and password input, which is basically the same as the other input, except we have password equal true, which will hide our input. Finally, we have a button to sign in. We can add this widget as we've done with all the others, but before that we need to bind the onPress to self.callback. This means we'll run a function called callback when this button is pressed, so we'll need to go ahead and write that. Underneath our build method, we'll need to write this callback method. So here is where we'll use Supabase to authenticate users. At the moment though, we'll just have a try accept. This will create a pop-up which says account created for, and then the contents of the text input will be displayed. Otherwise, it'll just print an error. Now we need to go over to Supabase, create an account, and then create a new project. Fill in all the credentials and select the free plan. Then you'll be presented with this page, which has our project API keys and our URL. We'll need to take both of these and store them in a .env file. This env file will need to be in the same folder as our main.py file, and look like this with our Supabase URL and Supabase key. We'll then need to load this env file with the rest of our imports at the top of our project, and now we're able to use these environment variables inside our project. So at the top of our build method, we now want to add in this code. It gets the URL and the key from our environment file, and then connects to the client, storing that connection in self.supabase. We can then go back to our try catch and add in this code, which will attempt to sign us up with the email, which we get from self.user.text, and the password as self.password.text. So now if you check your email, or the email you put in, you should see an email from Supabase telling you to confirm your email. This is how we register users, but if we want to sign in instead of signing up, we just change sign up to sign in with password. We can even sign in with a one-time passcode which is sent to your email. And there we have it, a Python program that allows you to authenticate users with Supabase, and going on from here you can use the Supabase database to manage all of your data on your program and create more user interfaces using Kivy.